You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. And now on with the show! When the characters last met, the group had ascended the tower up towards a strange greenhouse growing where various plants from different regions within Corvair and beyond were growing. And they met a man named Vior Melek. The man immediately put the group through a test, asking them to subdue a large Gorellin called Horus that was somewhere within the greenhouse, in the treetops, possibly. The man then excused himself and exited the greenhouse, locking the door behind him. The group began to surveil their surroundings and were suddenly and violently met with a large barrel that was tossed from the tree line down, which nearly hit Eli. The treetops began to shake violently, and the group began to attempt to subdue the large, furry, gorilla-like creature that began to attempt to attack these interlopers within its home. After a vicious battle, the group were able to knock the creature unconscious and tie it up, just as the older man, who had excused himself, re-entered the greenhouse. The man commended the group for their unorthodox ability to subdue the creature, and explained that he worked for the king, specifically for an intelligence group called the Dark Lanterns. Vior then explained that the Dark Lanterns, specifically himself, Captain Vior Melek, wished to conscript and hire the group to chase down a member of their intelligence community who had apparently gone rogue and stolen a magic item from a vault deep under the citadel. The group were then promised a considerable amount of money, each of them, and given traveling papers, including a letter of credit from the king himself that would allow them, in an emergency, to gather supplies or pay their way. After gathering as much intelligence as they needed from Vior about their quarry, the group exited the tower, heading out down into the streets, and began to plan out their next plan of action. Vior offered an additional 5 mage-bred horses that were waiting for them down in Rowan's Gate and Lower Tavik's Landing as a means of chasing their quarry, which had been seen recently exiting from that gate several hours prior. The group then decided to continue to gather supplies and materials for their journey and headed to 7th Tower so that Eli could find himself items that he needed for his magical abilities. The group found themselves outside of an establishment known as the Manifest Zone, which is a place that caters to students from the nearby University of Morgrave. And Eli made his way to the counter and met a very eccentric shopkeeper who showed Eli several spells that he had on display for purchase or spell scroll scribing. And as Eli continued to go through the various items and spells that he was looking for specifically, the long line of patrons behind him began to get a little bit more aggressive and unruly. It was just then that as Eli turned around to look behind him, he saw a gentleman brandishing a short sword, apparently attempting to attack him.
But, I'm there.
Yes, you are.
There's no way that guy's going to be able to get an attack off without me chopping off his arm.
That's assuming that you noticed it happening there, Ender.
I've had 2 weeks to think about this. I've totally noticed it by now.
Oh yeah. What's
Rip
your
his arm off like the bear did.
What's your passive perception there, Eli? Or not Eli, Ender.
12.
I know 12? No, you don't see it. Sorry.
Oh, well, Eli, I was going to try to help, but off goes your arm. Sorry.
All right, so let's see. Eli, as you turn around, you didn't see this person as they lunge forward. He's wearing the robes of one of the students from the university, and you can see now that he's pulled out a short sword that apparently he had stored up on his forearm inside of one of his robes. He pulls it out and thrusts forward into you. Let's see if he attacks you.
Sure, okay.
Because this is very important. You do have some spell slots left, so let's see if he hits. All right, that is an 18. Would you like to attempt to use your shield as a reaction? First of all, let's see if you actually noticed. I would say that you wouldn't have noticed with your, we'll say for all intents and purposes, because this is a sneak attack, you would not have had time to raise your shield.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to take some damage.
By chance, does Gunny see this happening?
Gunny is several rows away, currently looking at books. You wandered away from the counter.
Oh,
Holy crap, that is an attack.
So you take 9 piercing damage from the attack, and then you take... Let's see... On top of that, you take another 15 points of sneak attack damage. So I believe that's you're down to 3 hit points left, if I'm not mistaken there, Eli.
Yeah.
Okay. And the gentleman wearing the robes now is drawing his weapon back to make another attack. This one no longer with sneak attack. And I would say at this point, you know you're being attacked. Okay, that's an automatic miss. That's a roll of a 1. And the cloaked individual then thrusts forward and attempts to hit you with their third attack. A 27 hits. Would you like to attempt to shield this?
No.
Nope. Okay. Oh shit. I did not mean to do that. Sorry.
Kill him?
I did not mean to do that. I mean, you're down, but I did not mean to drop a sneak attack on that. Whoops. Okay, so you're down, but it wasn't as bad as that. So Eli, there's this a bit of movement in the establishment. Someone is trying to message me. I see that in there. I can't read that at the moment. I'll read it in a moment. And Eli, in quick succession, first you got stabbed hard, and then the individual attacker then pulled the sword back, attempted to stab into you again, but just past you, stuck into the wood of the counter, then pulled it back again, and then quick succession stabbed you once again in the chest. and Eli falls and slides off of the blade of the attacker, this would-be assassin. And now I would like Eli to roll initiative. Ender, you may also roll initiative. At this point, everyone in the establishment is yelling, and individuals are rushing around within the magic shop. You can also roll initiative. Guthril. And I would say that outside, you're not that far away. Lithana and Auri, you're hearing screaming coming from inside the establishment, and people are starting to run out of the shop. So you may also roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay. The assassin now, on the assassin's turn, takes their sword out, and Ender, you watch as it looks like they're getting ready to hack Eli's head off.
Cloaked assassin. Well, I'm going to kill him.
Well, unfortunately, it's not your turn yet. But as the cloaked assassin is about to do that, you can hear now the shopkeeper behind the counter saying, "What is going on in my shop? You there, stop!" And you can see as momentarily there is this brilliant flash of light. And make Constitution save. Ender will make a Constitution save for the assassin, and I'll say that you don't see it because you're up behind several bookcases. And I will go ahead and share a map for you guys now. Oh, okay. The assassin failed, so the assassin is currently blinded.
Oh, that's a fancy shop.
The assassin now pulls up their hand to their face immediately to try and shield, but too late, and is now currently blinded and looking down and attempting to feel for the body of Eli. Ender, you are also blinded.
Oh.
And you'll be able to save on your turn.
Okay.
Okay. And Lithana, it is your turn. You just saw a brilliant flash of light emit from the windows in the exterior of the establishment.
Alright, I'm going to use my full movement to get into the shop. Which, how far?
You'll be able to see once you start to try and move.
Where am I on the map?
You are. You're at the bottom of the map.
Oh, okay.
I'm not seeing her.
I see, very bottom. Alright. What is my movement speed? Where is it? Is my movement just 30?
Well, let's
Should
see.
be 30.
Normally your movement is 35.
Okay, I'm going to use my full movement, use my action, so that's 70 feet.
Okay.
And once I run through the doors, I'm going to see what's going on, try to assess the situation.
As you're looking around the shop, you see several individuals a couple of them are seated at tables. You see other patrons who are attempting to go past you out the double doors. And you can see several are rubbing their eyes, have hands on their faces. And you can see Ender rubbing his face, and there's some sort of cloaked individual, a man with a balding on top, and he's wearing purple robes, and he's currently standing over a prone Eli that's just in front of the counter with a short sword out. And you can see that Gunthral is just now starting to like move around. He doesn't seem to be rubbing his eyes, but he's moving around the corner to see what's going on. He heard the commotion and heard the sound of this brilliant flash come from behind the counter.
Alright, so that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Ender, it's your turn. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, sir.
All right, you are no longer blinded, my friend. Your vision was blurry for a moment. You blinked your eyes a few times, and you are now looking at this cloaked individual who is still standing over the prone Eli, and is still like scrambling at their face, like trying to like rub their eyes with their free hand. The other hand is holding a short sword.
Okay, well, I'm gonna cut off his hand.
Okay. You mean you're going?
I'm going to strike him.
You mean you're going to attack him? I got you. All right, you may move closer to the person and attack him.
There we are.
He has advantage since he's blind.
Yes. It should automatically do it because I threw the effect on the character, so it should roll it automatically.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, they added something to Fantasy Grounds now. There's a little tab now for its effects where you can drop effects. And as you pull out your weapon, your Biesh metal sword, and slash into the back of the individual, as you just hear this howl of pain. It's like, ah! And the voice goes up a little higher for a moment. It's like, and then goes darker, deeper again, as they begin to turn around towards the direction of the attack that slashed across their back. And then, in another arcing down with your long bladed weapon, slashing into the front of the person now as they're turning around towards you.
And now I wish to action surge.
Okay.
Which feels incredibly cheap.
All right. You slash down into the body of the individual again. I was just going to ask you, you've already used your action surge, haven't you? How many times?
If that's the case, then we have to cancel that. Let me look.
Didn't you use that during your bout with the Gorellin?
I remember doing it then. Can you cancel my last attack? I apologize. You're right.
That's okay. I will go ahead and adjust.
Thank you. Well, in that case, after doing that, that's the end of my turn. I hopefully, I was going for that hand. I wanted to chop that hand off so desperately. End of my turn.
Okay. Eli, make a death save. That is a failure, unfortunately. You're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And Auri, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm just going to use my movement to move towards the inside.
Okay. You can see movement from as you rush past patrons outside of the shop towards the entrance. You can see now that there are individuals who are rushing out of the double doors. You can see just a chaotic movement from within.
Okay, that's my turn.
And Gunthral, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to move around the corner here.
Okay. Gunthral, as you...
Trying to stay in line.
The portcullises themselves, which they were beads, and all of the beads were floating. The moment that the brilliant flash happened, all the beads scattered, and they're now floating up in various heights in the ceiling, on the floor. It's like someone dropped a thing of popcorn or marbles, but they started floating in the air when they scattered.
Alright, I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay. and the assassin
This is my hold spell.
resisted against your wisdom. Unfortunately, they rolled a straight 15 on your DC 15 spell.
Okay, and I shall pass.
Okay. Lithana, it is your turn again. As you begin creeping into the shop, brandishing your weapons and watching as the patrons are now scattering and continuing to rush out of the shop now.
I run past this lady here, trying to get to the... just get a visual on what's going on. So right about by Gunny.
Alright. And again, you can ignore the portcullises. The beads that were floating in the line on each one now, they have scattered. And as you run, several of them, which were floating as you walked into the shop, sort of harmlessly bounce off your chest and continue to float off in different directions depending on where they hit your armor.
I'd like to think if they were still there, she'd be like jumping over them all cool. Anyways, can she see the kind of...
You can see that. Yes, you can. I will say that pretty much everyone that was nearby is either rubbing their eyes or has started to scatter. So there's a clear shot to where you want to go.
I'll make my 2 attacks.
Okay. That is a hit.
Nice.
As you knock an arrow, pull back, and your arrow flies forth, striking this man in the side of the shoulder, and you hear this loud, "Ah!" And then once again, your arrow flies true, knocking an arrow and pulling it back, and once again pegs this person in their side now. Now they have two arrows and almost precisely in the same spot, and they reach up to grab with their free hand, are now yanking the arrows out and yelling in pain.
Can I make out any symbols or the person's face or anything?
The person was rubbing their eyes, and then their hand instinctively moved to their shoulder, and as you look, this person's eyes are as black as coals. Like, as their eyes are fluttering, as they're trying to, like, see. You can see their eyes now are black as coals. And as they blink their eyes a few times, the eyes are now shifting back to, like, sort of like a light blue colored eye. It's strange. It's like the entire, like, the cornea, everything, the sclera was completely black, like a black coal, and now it looks normal again. Now and that person's eyes are now fluttering, still wincing.
Oh boy. That's the end of my...
Okay. Eli, make another death save, please.
Oh, whoops.
Okay. So, yeah. Apparently you're dead. I'll take that second failure off.
Yeah. It froze for a second and it double clicked.
So, Eli, you are hearing the sounds of distant shores, the lapping of water on rock on the shores. You're hearing the sounds of your homeland, Stormhold. You can feel your ancestors calling you home. And Gunthroll, it is your turn.
Excellent. I'm gonna walk over here.
Okay. You push a little gnome woman out of the way who's still rubbing her face, rubbing her eyes. She's like, "Hey! Oh, stop it!"
And I need to make a grapple attack here. It's plus. I just use my battle axe then. I'm gonna attempt to grappling.
Okay, you're dropping your weapon?
Well, I'm gonna drop the. No, I'm gonna roll the weapon die as the same attack.
Well, no, grapple is a strength check.
Okay, I'm gonna. Or athletics.
No, it would be a strength check to grapple.
Okay.
Which you'd have advantage because the person is still blinded. So honestly, I would say technically you don't have to roll because this person has no idea that you could just reach out and touch them. It's like you reach out and just grab them.
I'm tempted to grab both arms and just apply pressure.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage anyway, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So as you reach out to grab this individual, it was almost instinctively like they heard you coming. They suddenly dodged out of the way, and you reached out and grabbed air.
Okay. Done.
Okay. On the cloaked assassin's turn, they're going to attempt to save out from being blinded. We'll see what happens. And they failed. So the person now is going to wail out and attempt to stab at the first person. They will attempt to stab at you because you were the first person. They felt you attempting to grab them. Which they should, that attack should roll with disadvantage. So suddenly this person is wildly stabbing out with their short sword, attempting to stab at you, Gunthroll. Did you see their sword arm? Yep, did roll with disadvantage. The first one just glints off of your armor as you twist your body to the side. Its second attack attempting once again in quick succession to stab you in the center mass into your stomach. And again, you just manage to twist out of the way, dodging these attacks as they're coming forward and hitting you and attempting to hit you. All three attacks miss. And you just hear this person yell. Man. You just hear them yell something in a language that you don't understand, and then they begin to attempt to stumble past both you and Ender. So you will get opportunity attacks. I'm going to make a perception check to see how well they're able to do this. Not very well. So they're stumbling.
I'm trying to grab him as he goes by.
Well, that was your action, so you can't use that. You can't use your reaction to do that, but you can attack.
All right, can I push him and shove him down, like punch him and hit him?
Yeah, you could punch him and try to like trip him as a reaction. Go for it. We'll see it. Let's see if you knock them on their ass. You're gonna get an advantage on the attack. So I would say if you manage to nail them, you'll do damage. Plus, you'll be able to like knock them prone on their butt. You definitely hit as you lunge forth with your battle axe hefted in your hands and slash into this cloaked individual. And you just hear this oof as the person is now bashed down onto their stomach, onto the ground. Their short sword goes scattering off into the shop, sliding past you, Lafana, and falls prone just in front of you, Gunthroll. And that is now Ender's turn.
Okay. I'm going to finish this guy off, but can I do it non-lethally?
If you like, you can attempt to knock them out or to kill them. Or not kill them. You can attempt to take them out. So neither
I'm going to use the backside of my blade.
Neither one of you know the status of Eli. No, neither one of you are going to attempt to like check on him. Gotcha.
Oh shoot.
Again,
with all due respect, Eli, no, I'm not a hero.
No metagaming. That is a hit.
I'd like this to be non-lethal damage.
Okay. This assassin now is, you just hear oof and again is yelling something in some strange language, and their voice is modulating, changing, going up several octaves and then back down again. But they're not unconscious, and it looks like they're attempting to scramble back to their feet. And Auri, it is your turn. Unless you have something else
I have a
you'd like to
second.
do.
I have a second attack.
Go for it.
All right.
That is also a hit. Slashing down with your weapon into the back of this individual. Blood is now spurting from different areas. The robes are now tattered. And there's a little bit of a strange hazy effect that seems to be going on now. Like the robes are sort of like phasing in and out of existence. Like they're shifting now from looking like robes to now looking like leather armor. And then back to robes again. It's really strange. Does that complete your
End
turn?
of my turn.
Okay. Now it's your turn, Ari.
Alright, I'm just going to get as close to Eli as I can. I know I can't make it, but I'm going to get as close as I can.
Okay. You can double move if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You see clusters of people who are rushing past you. The person behind the counter who has been scrambling and attempting to talk to all the different individuals. He's saying, "Everyone calm down, it's alright, the watch is on the way, they've been alerted." Okay, that's where you want to go?
Yeah, right behind Gunny.
Okay.
That's as far as I can.
Alright.
Yeah, it's my turn.
And Gunthrow, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna cast spell Healing Word.
Okay. So as your bonus action, you're going to heal Eli. Alright. Eli, you are no longer unconscious. Your eyes flutter. You're hearing the sounds of the shore and smelling the sea. And your eyes flutter open as you're looking up at the ceiling of this strange shop. And you're hearing sounds of movement and yelling as people are running.
Who mistake?
Would you like to do anything else there, Gunthrow?
Yes, I'm gonna strike this guy again.
Okay. Striking down with your battle axe, chopping down into the back of this person who's scrambling, attempting to stand up. And again, you are also seeing this strange sight of the robes, which are now shifting from robes back to armor, back to robes, back and forth. And the bald head is now shifting now. The bald head is now shifting to bright shock white hair, which is splayed out, covering the facial features of this person who's prone. And Eli, it is your turn. You are currently laying on your back.
I will stand up.
Okay.
Can I see anything?
It's half your movement as you first getting up onto one leg, knee up, arm on the knee. You're feeling dizzy. You're leaning against the counter with your other arm. You're looking around. You can see both Auri, who is just a few feet away from you with a look of concern on her face. You see Gunthrow, who's looming over an individual who is prone on the ground, attempting to get away from Gunthrow and Ender, who has his sword cocked sideways at an angle at a ready, looking like they're getting ready to strike down again.
Can I see? So I can't actually see, so the spell doesn't affect me.
Correct. You were unconscious. You are not
okay.
blinded.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. And a bit of a blip, and Eli suddenly becomes invisible.
And I'll end my turn.
Okay. Lothana, it's your turn. You now see the individual before you, this strange look as they're now lifting their face up, looking towards you, a look of grimace, blood on their face. Their skin is a mottled, cheese-like, almost white, off-white coloration. They have large black eyes, no pupils. Their hair is shock white and splayed out, and they're getting ready to rise up, looking like they're getting ready to run past you.
All right. I'd really like to grapple this guy and talk to him, but I'm not very strong. So I'm just going to shoot him.
Okay. That is a hit as you knock an arrow, and the person, as they were beginning to look up at you, you catch them right in their right eye. And the person, and this individual suddenly goes limp. Their head laying sideways on the ground, the arrow sticking out of the eye socket. And you, my friends, are out of combat.
Good shot.
Thanks, Gunny. And she quickly runs over to this thing and takes a look.
Okay. What you see before you, Lithana, appears to be a changeling. At least from your travels, it looks like a changeling. The white, almost bluish white skin, like the consistency of blue cheese almost. And they're wearing this strange armor that seems to be flickering and flashing in places, like it's attempting to resemble some other type of clothing.
Any symbols on them? Any tattoos?
Well, you're welcome to check this person if you like.
You said the clothes are still flickering?
In places, there's like weird flashes on the armor.
Careful, he still might be alive. I step on him with my size 22 foot across his throat.
Okay. There's a crunch of bone as you crush this person's windpipe. They're unmoving.
I don't think he was alive, and I do not think that was us.
Now, the shopkeeper from behind the counter is saying, just hold where you are, please don't leave the store, and is now rushing after the other patrons, attempting to get their attention. What would you all like to do?
What kind of shop do you run? My goodness.
I can assure you, my friend, I have nothing to do with this.
I think we need a discount on our purchase.
Yeah, a big discount.
There's the curtain.
Says the curtains behind you. Eli is still invisible.
Did you get him? Is he dead? Oh man.
He's still shifting a little bit, but I think...
If the arrow didn't do it, I'm pretty sure Gunny's boot did.
I'm looking around if the guy had any accomplices. Anyone that's looking suspicious. I know everyone's like afraid and fearful, but I'm looking for anyone else.
Make a perception check there, Ender. And looking at this prone person, they're very lithe. Before they had like much broader shoulders, like the stature of a male, like a human male. And now it appears to be much lither, almost feminine features, in addition to not being bald. Unfortunately, Ender, you don't really see anything. You see a lot of panic-looking faces. There's a few people that are clutching their books and looking at you just with shock in their face as they're rubbing their face, rubbing their eyes.
I'm going to head out the doors and do the same check.
Okay. As you do, you now see several City Watch who are now pushing past you. And as soon as you walk out of the establishment, they're walking towards you with their weapons drawn. They're saying, "You there! Stop! What's the meaning of this? We heard that there is apparently an attack."
Yes, there was. And I'm going to gesture him inside.
And they immediately push past you and head into the establishment. Lithana, Gunthral, Auri, Eli, you see is several armed City Watch are now assessing the scene. They're checking on the patrons, and one of the men now pulls his helmet off and walks up to you and says, "What do you all know about this?" And you can hear from...
whisper behind me. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go right ahead.
I'm gonna whisper behind me and tell Eli, hey, maybe you should stay invisible just in case this goes south.
Okay.
And from behind the counter now, the proprietor says, "Oh, please don't harass them. They're so kind. These poor man. Well, I don't know where he went, but this person rushed forth and attacked him, and then his friends came in to help, and I tried to stop him with one of my blinding spells, but I wasn't able to prevent them from dropping the man and nearly killing him." The man says, the captain of the watch now looks to each of you and says, "Well, if he says that you're right, then that's fine. We'll just take statements from all of you, and you can go on your way. Would ask you please to stay here in the establishment as we assess all of the other patrons and make sure that they're okay." Gunthrow, you're doing this in front of the man as he's talking?
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's as soon as you begin to move towards the body, the man holds out his hand and says, "Sir, please don't interfere with official watch business."
He attacked us. I'm getting what's due.
You're getting what's due?
He
And
attacked us. He died.
Cocked his
body
head
was
to the
forfeit.
side now. "This is a crime scene, sir."
Sir, with all due respect, where was the watch when this man attacked innocents? Look how many civilians could have been killed.
It's highly unorthodox, yes. We're not known to have attacks like this happening in a busy market square such as 7th Tower. It's very unusual. Which is why we want to get to the bottom of it. We don't know anything about this person. You say man, I'm looking at what appears to be some sort of changeling woman.
Look, we are a group, we work together, and we protect him. So we got to know what we're up against as well. So, do your investigation, file your reports, but at least let us have a look.
Make a persuasion check.
Alright.
Eli, yes you may.
I want to search the
could
body
hear
of being
her.
invisible.
Okay.
Whoa, I got lucky.
So the man says,
Nice.
"Very well. You can have 5 minutes with the body, but then you need to get out of here. We'll take your statements. What are all your names? You, young lady," and he's pointing to you, Lithana.
Shoot.
You don't have a fictitious one ready, do you?
No, I don't. It's Amelia Eisenhower.
Make a deception check.
Okay.
With a disadvantage because you were stumbling over your words.
Oh God. Look
It's
at
actually
that.
it's actually not bad.
It's not bad, yeah.
I have proficiency in deception, so yay.
So he looks at you and he says, "Amelia?" Okay. And he pulls out this little tiny version of a ledger. It's like quarter size of like what a ledger would be. And he's currently writing the name down. And he just down the line, he now continues to look to each of you and takes your name down. Do you all give similar false names, or are you giving your real names?
I'm not over there. Is
Yeah,
the guard coming back to talk to me?
He doesn't know if you're involved. They push back.
Alright, good.
They push
I'm just
past
gonna
you.
stay out.
Yeah, I'll give some type of fake name that I heard somewhere.
Okay. Eli,
Brewster.
I will drop in the party inventory what Eli finds.
As the guards like talk to everybody, Eli slowly slipping off the dude's clothes. As they're not paying attention.
You know what? You make a sleight of hand with advantage since you're invisible. Let's see if anyone notices you slipping their clothing and bags and everything off. Hey, this body wasn't nude. What's going on here?
Can Lasana like try to see this as?
Well, what's
I
your
noticed that I try to stand between the guards and the body.
What's your passive? What's your passive perception?
16.
16? You did not notice. Yeah, you're currently engaged with this gentleman. He is in your face, not like aggressively, but he's like looking. He's just sort of checking your height and your weight, and he's looking at you. He's drawing like your measurements, like writing your measurements in his book. Just a full description of what you're wearing and everything. And he's doing the same for everyone. Eli, you were able to slip the pack off of the body, but you were not able to pull the clothing off.
As I see this occurring, I'm going to step over the body, like my body's like standing over top of hers. Put my arm around Lathana. So, officer, what do you need? And try to keep his attention on us.
Okay.
And she looks at him like, "Why are you touching me?"
The man now looks to you. He has sort of like a blondish, reddish hair, big bushy mustache. His hair's thinning on top. He's a bit thick around the midsection. He's wearing the vestments of the watch, and he just sort of looks to you and looking. He was looking at Lothana. When he shifted his eyes to you, he had to peer up a bit, and he's just like furiously writing a description of you right now in his book. What did you say your name was, sir? And he continues to go through continue to write descriptions of everything that you're wearing, everything you're carrying.
I try to get like 3 inches away from his face while I'm talking, so the odor of that rotten fish that I've been eating, permeates.
His eyes, you can see he is visibly wincing as he's kind of leaning back a little bit away from you. Eli, make another sleight of hand with advantage since you're still invisible.
Okay.
Let's see if you can strip this person in the midst of all these people. Okay. There is currently a very nude changeling woman laying on the ground. Completely full of holes, blood is everywhere. The armor, I should mention, and the pack is completely coated in blood.
Glancing down at it, is there any
do you pick up
visible
do you pick up the short sword?
Can I slip it in the bag of holding that Gunther's holding without anyone noticing?
No.
Is he so tall? Okay, I'm gonna.
I would say that would be normally you would get disadvantage on that, but since you're invisible, we'll take the disadvantage away. Just make a straight sleight of hand check.
Is this a smart idea before I do it? Do I?
Do it.
No.
Go for it. Go for it, man. Just go for it.
This is a terrible idea.
Here, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
I'm gonna try to slip. I don't know if my pockets are big enough in my bag, in my robe.
Let's do it.
Just do it. Test it.
14.
I feel the pack shift a little bit. I'm like, I'll lean in a little closer. Here, make sure you spell my name right. Don't like it having it wrong.
So as you picked up the short sword, it's now floating in the air, and the man's attention gazes over towards the short sword, which is floating in the air as you were heading towards Gunthril to put it into the bag. And he's just like, hold on a moment. What in the blazes? Hey, are you doing that? And he's now yelling past you towards the gentleman behind the counter, who has been furiously stacking books up. He's like, wait a minute. And he's looking back towards the sword as the sword is going towards Gunthrill's pack.
Can I grab the sword as it's floating?
If you like.
I grabbed the sword. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a little trick I picked up, adventure.
That's evidence. I'm going to need you to hand that over.
You said I had 5 minutes to look at it, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes to look at the body, not. And now he's looking towards the body, which is now nude. What the blazes is going on? And he now looks around. He's like, men, no one leaves the shop. Something is going on. Something fishy is going on. He's now turning to look back at you. What would you like to do?
Well, when he turned away, can I like stick the sword in the back?
Absolutely.
No, can I switch the swords?
With what?
Guys,
I haven't.
guys, we're going to. Let's not spend the whole evening in this damn shop. Jesus.
Exactly.
That's true.
So Latana is going to look back at the nude body and be like, well, you know, I've heard that changelings close, you know, when they die, they kind of go away as well. So maybe it was just a delayed reaction.
The man
Maybe
now
it was an illusion.
is looking at the body and now looks to you, Lathana. That doesn't sound right. Make another deception check. Just a straight deception check.
Oh, come on.
And he just sort of looks down and it's like, I mean, we're on a magic shop, but that just doesn't seem right. I'm gonna need you all, if you could, just stand over there. And he points towards the row of very plush chairs on the southern wall of the shop. And he's now, his attention is not on you. He's looking at the body, and he's gesturing to have his men come over now. And it looks like they're getting ready to take the body and attempt to remove it from the shop.
I make the little guy move.
I should mention Auri. She's not 100% nude. She did have some like underclothing, like very simple, like top and bottoms.
That's good.
He took that too.
I assume that Eli did not like take a peek. I don't know much about Eli yet.
No,
We don't want to
he
know,
just
actually.
He just wanted the magical armor.
So Auri,
Hey,
as you're heading towards the
Sorry,
exit,
Lucas.
you notice there are two very tall, very thick guards who are blocking the exit. And from outside, just beyond, you can see Ender, who is wandering the streets outside, looking towards the shop, into the shop.
I'm looking around to see if anyone looks suspicious. Still.
You don't notice anything. You see occasionally like a rat which will run around the building and will squeak and then run back. Looking around the corner of the shop, you see several what looks like some sort of strange stone constructs which are standing lined up on the eastern wall of the building. But you don't notice
Okay.
anything out of the ordinary.
I'm gonna ignore him as to not like try and get him involved.
Okay. The men are currently, they're putting their hands up. Young lady, we'll need you to stay. If you would please return to where you were within the establishment until the investigation is over.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
And the only thing that you do notice in there is that the little kobold who drove you all here, Mr. Knuckles Dawson, is currently doing handstands over on the top of his little flying sky coach. And
Oh, he is.
he's on one arm pushing himself up in the air like he's practicing gymnastics.
Man, if I had a cell phone, I'd be taking a selfie with him.
Oh, well, maybe the next Atlas slate will have the ability to capture an image next time.
Ani, you need to draw Ender outside leaning against this inn, and then a kobold doing push-ups with one arm on top of a carrot.
Okay, so now, still within the establishment, you're all just sort of been left to your own devices within. The patrons, a couple of them starting to get a little antsy. And a man and a woman now walk up to the shopkeeper and said, "We did nothing wrong. Please tell them that we can leave, please." And Mess is like, I have nothing to do with these proceedings. Please just allow the City Watch to do what they need to do, and then I'm sure they'll let you leave. And the Watch now, currently they're covering the body, and one of them now looks up and he says, we're going to need to contact the Citadel and see if we can have an Inquisitor come down. Captain, is there any way we could reach out to the High Inquisitor and have him send someone down? And the Captain says, well, I'm sure that we could do that. And he pulls out a sending stone from his pocket. He says, could we please have an Inquisitor come down to the 7th Tower? We have a little bit of a issue down at the Manifest Zone shop. If we could have someone come down within the hour, that would be wonderful.
Hey, Gunny, Adri. Just all of you, can hear a sec.
I'll sit at the table over here.
Okay. What do the rest of you do?
I'm going to follow him.
Okay.
Hey, Ari, Ender, come here for a sec.
As you approach the table, the patrons that were there are now shifting uncomfortably as they saw you all attack this person and slay them in the middle of the shop. Eli, what are you doing? You're still invisible, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that lasts for what? 1 hour?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm chilling.
This is an hour investigation, guys.
I'll sneak around to the corner.
Okay.
So Desana kind of whispers to them, saying, look, we still have a mission. We've got to get out of here. What's the...
Well, flash the little kingy thingy and we'll walk out of here like we did last time.
Do I have it?
Eli has it.
Oh, Eli has it. Where is it?
Well, whisper to him and see if he'll drop it on one of our shoulders or something.
Eli, make a stealth check with advantage.
If you fail this roll, it's going to take twice as long to get out of this damn place. Okay, good. Oh my god, there was a 1 or a 7. Okay.
So you all, Gunny, you watch as like one of the chairs at the table kind of moves slightly, and then stops, like like something brushed up against it, but you didn't see anything brush up against it.
Hey, you get that later on, yeah.
I'm gonna invisibly tap Gunny on his shoulder, and then move the bag a little bit. His bag.
Okay. The man and the woman who were at the counter now are walking over towards the guards that are blocking the exit. And they're saying, please, our daughter is at home. She's very sick. We need to leave, please. And the guards will say, Captain, these two want to leave. We're just going to take their information. Is that okay? And the captain says, no, damn you. I said that no one is leaving until we finish the investigation. I'm sorry, ma'am. You're going to have to find a place to sit, stand, whatever. And the woman now sort of huffs. This never happens in Upper Tavik's Landing. Never.
While that's going on, I want to put the stuff in his bag. Since everyone's distracted.
Okay. It's still in the party sheet, so you guys can have at it.
It's in Gunny's. It's in Gunny's bag of holding now.
Sure. It's on the party inventory, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the son is like, now where is it, Eli? We need that.
You see the letter slip out and like it all of a sudden becomes visible on the table, like floats down.
Ender, from your vantage point, you can hear off in the distance. You can hear the little kobold Knuckles is just like having the time of his life.
Jesus.
It does a perfect somersault off of the sky coach onto the ground, bowing to no one.
we're letting that guy drive us around. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I'm not going to go up and talk with him or anything. I mean, I'm deep down, I'm hoping we get a new coach.
Okay. Well, he did promise to take you all to Roan's Gate after this, so... Or wherever you wanted to go.
So guys, who's going to talk to the guards? Not gonna lie, I'm much better at lying than telling the truth. So, not that persuasive, you get my drift.
Okay, I'll be quiet then. It
Okay.
might be better that way.
Well, I mean, is it worth?
Why don't you go pull that chief guard aside and, you know, flash her a little bit.
All right, if you didn't. And she
That
walks
worked for
up
you,
to the
Lila.
Where is the head guard?
The captain is now standing at the counter, apparently debriefing the owner of the establishment.
Okay. She kind of just strides out.
Are the guards standing in front of the door?
There are 2 guards who are currently blocking the exit, correct?
Oh, okay, so there's no way to slip by them.
Oh, no.
Don't
Okay.
you dare, Eli.
So as you head up to the counter, you can hear the man else. I don't know nothing about it. The woman was a man, and then he was a woman. And stabbed the gentleman that was here. Strange. I haven't seen him in a while, for some reason. I don't see him at all, actually. And he's continuing to sort of look around and scan the crowd of patrons. But I don't know where he went. And the City Watch is saying, so this man that you don't know where he went, the one that was attacked, can you describe him to me? And that's what he was saying as you walked up, Lithana.
Excuse me, sir.
And the man now turns around. He's furiously writing in his on his little tablet. He sort of looks at you and says, "Yes."
Well, I couldn't help but overhearing about our friend. Yes, we had a friend that got attacked, and when he gets attacked, he gets scared, and he sometimes just poofs. So, but he's not a problem. In fact, he's very weak, which is why he got attacked. I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. But the reason we're here, we were picking up some stuff.
And he stops you for a moment and says, "So you're with the man who was attacked?"
Yes, we are part of the group.
Okay, and where is this man now? We want to talk to him.
Like I said, he gets scared and he goes poof. So I don't know.
So he left the shop.
Maybe? I don't know.
Oh, blasted. Can't get a straight answer out of anyone today. Very well.
But
I've taken all of your information. I have everything that I need from you and your group. If you wish to go find your friend, you can. But I insist that the moment that you locate him, you send him to a watch station immediately. We need to talk to him.
All right. Will do.
Boys, you can let them go. We have all the information. And as he says that, the 2 gentlemen who are standing at the door sort of part to reveal the double doors. And the man and the woman who were attempting to leave now, they're standing up. And the woman's like, "Well, why do they get to leave?" "Ma'am, please quiet down. You'll be able to leave shortly." And the 2-minute door now gesture towards your group and say, "You're free to go."
I'll look over at Ori and I'm like, man, she does know how to talk good. And I'll leave.
Okay.
I follow very closely right behind Gunny.
Make a stealth check with advantage.
Hey guys, I'm curious. Is anyone else having any kind of audio issues? Sometimes when I'm hearing people talk, they're cutting in and out. Is anyone else? Is that happening too? Anna's telling me no. I just.
I occasionally have those problems. I think it's just Discord being a butt. I can switch the region if you want. Let me try change the settings real quick.
All right, you're a sweetheart. I can also try restarting too.
No, it's okay. Let me try. I'll change it to the east and see if that fixes it. Okay. How's that sound?
We'll have to play with it. Everyone just, all talk at once, so it'd be... You're the only one that's muted for me.
Potato! Potato, potato!
I'll let you know if it works.
Okay. Yeah, I also experienced the same issues. It's either my internet or it's the Discord being weird.
I had the same
I don't think
issue.
it's you. I don't think it's you, Jeremy, because it's not just happening to you. It's happening to everybody. It's probably my connection to that Discord server, and by you changing it, probably reset it. Anyways, I'm sorry for taking up too much time. Eli's in the middle of failing his stealth check.
So, Eli, as you were walking towards the exit behind Gunthral, you just managed to brush your foot against one of the guards who was standing at the doors. And he now looks at it and says, "Hold a minute. What is going on? What was that?" And he's now looking around, like, trying to find the source of it.
I'll stop and get 2 inches away from his face. I'm like, what? What did you say?
Something just brushed against me. Are you coming on to me?
As he does that, I'm gonna sneak out. Like,
Okay.
while he distracts him, I'm gonna run out.
You are currently out of the establishment, Eli. Still invisible.
Why? Did you want me to come on to you?
And he looks at you and goes, "It's time and a place, man. I'm on business. But if you want to meet me at Gulf South Cheddar, you look like a fine fellow. Why don't you meet me later on?" And he just sort of winks at you.
Maybe.
And
I'll walk out.
you're all free to leave the establishment.
Latona comes out like trying to hold it back, but no.
Lithana, you talk pretty good. Right? You did a great job. You let us go. Everyone else had to stay, but we left. Good job.
Oh, thank you. It was nothing. They called me a real soothsayer, No, actually, I just shoot people. Oh, I didn't say that loud. Nope, I didn't say that. And Lithona quickly, she tries to find like a shadow spot, like spot in the shadow in the dark.
There's plenty of dark, very deep shadows on the edge of the building near the base of the tower.
All right, she's going.
I'm restarting, by the way, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
She's going to duck into the shadow for a second. And put out a blonde wig and put it.
Okay. I didn't know you had a blonde wig in your bag. Awesome.
And she's going to kind of braid it and then come back.
I suppose I should award you guys some experience points for that encounter. There we go. Y'all received 360 experience points apiece. So Lithana emerges from the shadows, now sporting a blonde do, braided up. And you can see off in the distance now the gentleman in the sky coach. He is currently ceased his theatrics. He says, well, hello! My goodness, what was going on over there? I heard a commotion.
It was nothing.
And who are you?
Oh, me. My name is Amelia Eisenhower. Nice to meet you.
Oh, well, any friend of my friends is a friend of mine. And he offers his tiny little hand out towards yours to shake it.
She just waves.
Eli is gonna sneak in the sky coach and then pop in back into visible and
Okay.
pop out like, "Hey guys."
Eli suddenly blinks into existence, seated within the sky coach. And Knuckles says, "Oh, my friend from House of the Rendar, how are you?"
Good. I appreciate.
Oh, you're not looking too good. And he's now gesturing towards the holes in your robes and the blood that is staunched, but there's clear blood stains on your beautiful robes that you wear.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast. If I can say the word.
Say it.
Prestidigitation, I think.
There you go.
On it, and goes, "Oh, it's just a flesh wound." Oh, thank you.
I know someone in the area that can take you to get healed up if you need it.
Oh, my Gunny can heal me as well. I'm feeling a lot better. I pop out.
Is there anywhere that you wish to go next? Are we all assembled? He's now looking around, taking sort of a visual inventory of the five of you.
You go get our horses.
Oh, going to get horses? Where am I taking you? To Rowan's Gate, correct? Is that it?
Does anyone else need the shop and get stabbed in the back?
Well, should I go reveal myself?
I should also mention that Eli never got to finish his transaction. He never got to get any of those spells.
Yeah. Should I go back in there and get my spells?
No, you. Dumb.
Move on, taxi man.
But
Eli,
Well,
if you wish to go get your spells, I will assist you.
Eli, if you've deducted gold for those spells, you're welcome to give that gold back to yourself.
Oh, I did. I put the spells in my spellbook too.
Yeah, you're gonna go ahead and delete those for me when you have a moment. So
Yeah, next time you buy something, buy it before you get backstabbed.
Knuckles now.
Just imagine if you would have died, you know?
It almost
it's
did.
much better walking out of that store alive without your spells than not walking out of that store at all.
After that sneak attack, that I had the opportunity to coup de grace him, and I didn't get to because of the immediate reaction of the shop owner.
Yeah, it's a really good point. That guy's a total dick. He
know,
blinded me as well. I was just this poor little, just this orc that was hanging out next to his buddy, and he shined me in the face. I should have attacked him.
So Knuckles has now assumed his position at the control yoke of the the coach, and he is now launching the vehicle up into the air, off to the east and arcing down to lower Tavik's Landing.
He's trying to get us a discount, but he wasn't going for it. Maybe Lathana should have talked to him because she could talk up a storm. You know, she does a great job.
You guys give me too much credit.
I did hear of another magic shop.
No. But Ender, yeah, you did a good job. I said close to Ender.
Yeah, you as well. Good job.
Your skin always is green? Or
What?
does it get darker in the sun, or does it get lighter, or...
Yeah.
What kind of
tan
moisturizer do you use?
I tan like a human, if that's what you mean.
Darker green.
I try to stay out of the sun, and I pull out a really what are those hats called? the rice hats?
Sombrero?
No, not a sombrero. They kind of the cooler version of a sombrero, I guess you could say.
I've heard of many different terms. Some of them are probably extremely racist. I've heard coolie hats, rice patty hats. We'll just say a wide-brimmed hat with a very stunted point. How about that?
That,
Yeah.
but the not racist one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pulled that out and I
We'll just
I
call it
showed,
Ender's hat. Ender's hat. We'll just call it Ender's hat.
that works. Ender's hat. And thus it shall be named for all campaigns to come. Hear thee.
Very well. A very nicely made, made out of reeds, stitched together, woven together reeds, wide brimmed, and as you tuck it on over your features, Ender, the midday sun now is off of the top of your head, which was starting to burn a little bit. The wind is now whipping in all of your faces as the sky coach now drops down into Lower Tavik's Landing after several minutes. Was there anything else that you wanted to discuss as a group within the sky coach before you arrived?
So,
Yes.
Eli,
Yes.
do you owe a god some sort of debt or something? This is what, 3 times you've almost died, and you always make it out?
No, I don't owe anybody any debt. I did inherit from my great uncle, but that is inheritance, not debt.
Maybe you inherited a bounty. Who was this great uncle?
It was a long time ago. This great uncle, he owns a warehouse and a airship inside of it, but the airship's broken. So I inherited it.
Wait. You inherited a broken airship?
Yes. It's been my goal to fix it, but I haven't ever got around to it. It is very expensive. So that's what I've been trying to do. Yeah. Too poor.
Don't feel bad. You don't know anybody but me.
The city certainly seems hell-bent on killing you.
Yeah. And I just read books. I don't even know why I'm trying to do this.
Something tells me you're not telling me the truth, Eli. But it's fine. I don't need to know everything.
Well, I mean, recently, this gang started coming around and saying, like, oh, you owe us, blah, 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 give us the airship, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, I inherited this. And they're like,
No. Who are those people?
I'm blanking, Jeremy. What gang is it?
According to the contacts that you've had recently, these inquiries have been coming from various sources. You've heard the Bolramar clan. You've heard other sources that you've never even heard of them before. Some sort of organization that just simply calls itself the cartel.
Yeah.
So basically, this whole city's out to get you. Let's leave as soon as possible. In haste. This quest might be a new turning, a good new part of your life, escaping this place alive. Luckily.
Yeah, but I mean, one day I do hope to come back and fix the airship. You know.
Well, yeah, if you need help with it, I lived on it for 25 years.
Oh, you fly too?
No, I said I worked on it. I mean, I fought.
Ah. Oh. Which side did you fight on?
Well, I don't think we should get into that.
So the baddies.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. There was a big treaty, that everyone's okay, and all those people, those ships that we raided, and well.
He like gives him a big stare. So you
I know about ships.
You a pirate?
You might.
In a sense,
some people might say
we're not much different than pirates.
What we did might be considered pirating. No, I just call it we were raiders. Yeah, we were raiders. We raided the supply lines, and well, your guys's, but
And
don't
what
feel bad.
is a raid?
Oh, you innocent girl. See, a raid is, you got these like defenseless little ships going around with supplies and all that, and with a bunch of people on it. And then you come around with, like big ships with big guns, blow them up out of the sky, and just enough so they just crippled and jump down, kill a bunch of people, take all their cargo, maybe throw a few off over the edge, watch them, fall down, and then put everything on our good ships, with the big cannons on it, and go away.
And they were defenseless? That's awful.
Well, no, the people had, swords and stuff, but the ships didn't have big guns. They had little guns. We had big guns.
Oh, I see.
It was war.
Well, war sounds terrible.
Well,
You get used to it.
Wars, they're always so idealistic, good side, bad side. It's just people wanting something.
War.
Always better to be neutral.
War. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
You should
Well,
rule.
I got to say, my family's made a fortune off of it, so,
Who is your family, Mathana?
Oh, the Aisha Weapons Company. You've probably heard of it.
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah, we raided a couple of their ships. During the war.
Gunny?
Yes, the treaty, Gunny.
You got to know, you don't want to mess with the Aishas. We are neutral, we supply to both sides, but if you get on our side, our bad side, not something.
I believe her. I mean, she's really cool, but she does scare the shit out of me.
I think she's cool. She talks real good. Pretty good with a bow.
Yeah, that was a good kill.
Oh, thank you. Do you like the blonde? And she kind of shows off her blonde.
We kind of look like sisters now.
Oh, we kind of do.
I demand a blonde Lithana NPC picture.
Oh, it's already there. It's up.
No, she does have it up.
I just noticed.
Does she really? Oh, yeah.
With the bow and everything.
See, she came prepared.
Like a good rogue, I mean, Gloomstalker should. So after several minutes, the Sky Coach now angles down into the past terminus station towards Roan's Gate, and you can just see a steady stream of carts and vehicles and people, individuals going towards these landing pads where various Sky Coaches of different types and are all stationed, and people are stepping into and stepping off and raising up off into the distance. And you can just see this massive gate now, this enormous gate. The gates are pulled free now, and you can see the road beyond, which stretches off over a long bridge off to the east, to the southeast. And you can see now, as the vehicle is landing within the district, you can see that there is the clear sign with the coat of arms of House Fidalis. You can see off, not too far away from the gate, you can see the stables, and you can see several beasts of burden, large beasts of burden, and horses which are lined up in stalls nearby. And Knuckles lands the vehicle and says, "Ah, there we go. Well, it's a pleasure working with all of you. Hopefully I'll see you again someday."
Yeah. Johnny gets off.
Thank you, Knuckles. Good travels. Safe travels. And I'm gonna leave.
"Thank you, young lady." And again, it's just a continuous flood of traffic and noise as people are moving and through the streets, and the sky coaches are zipping up into the air. Just dozens of sky coaches.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking me and my friends. I wrote your name down, and I will share it with the house leader.
"Oh, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it, my lord, so much."
You're welcome. I appreciate it, all of you've done for me and my friend. And I'll walk out.
Okay. As you all part ways with Knuckles, walking away from his sky coach, where would you like to go? You have this massive stream of people who are just streaming in and out of the massive Gate of Galifar, which was previously known as before the last war. And now it's essentially just become known as Roan's Gate, which is named after Queen Roan. And you can just see beyond the massive arch opening of the tower for this part of the city, this entrance in and out of the city. You can see a titanic statue of a woman holding a scepter in one hand and a sword above her head.
Well, where to? Do we grab our horses, or I mean, are we traveling by horse, or we decide what we want to go, how we want to get there?
I like the freeway. And this way is free.
Well, lead the way.
As you get closer to the House Fidelis station, you can now see various individuals wearing at the outpost. You can see various individuals who are wearing like the vestments of House Fidelis. And you can see a man now who is currently finishing up a transaction with a man who is currently taking a couple of horses away from the stables. And he turns his attention to you and he says, "Oh, yes, what can I do for you?"
Yes, we're here for horses. We have some horses here.
"You have horses here? You previously ordered horses?"
Yes, but the king. I kind of look at all of them. Yes, we're sent here.
And he's now looking down at his atlas slate, and he looks up at you and he says, "Oh yes, 5 mage-bred horses. Yes, we have them ready for you if you're ready to pick them up. They are barded with leather armor, so and they are ready to ride." And he's now quickly to he says, "Leopold, Jeremy, please, if you'll bring out the 5 horses for these lovely people right now. It's to my knowledge that this will be settled up later. Your benefactor, strangely enough, I don't remember hearing something about the king, but the individual who made this order has a good standing with the house, so obviously we are giving these to you without money up front. But please do take good care of them. They are very good horses. And you may name them anything that you wish. They are bred to bond with you and accept whatever name that you decide to give them." And as he's saying this, the 2 individuals who are leading the horses up, you just see these beautiful horses of very different mottled browns. Some of them have like a little bit of white on their snout. They're just beautiful, just thick, muscular frames, and they have barding, this leather armor barding on them, with like this covering that goes over their head and over their eyes that protects from like the glare of the sun. Please do take good care of them. They are wonderful stock. We just had them bred out last year, and they've been broken, and they will obey every order.
Is there like a bigger horse?
Well, the mage-bred horses are the size of Clydesdales.
Ah, good. I'll try to find a bigger one and get on it.
Okay.
I may need some help getting up.
Okay.
Are you a small little...
The two handlers that came up, they sort of check each one of the horses as they lead them up to you in a straight line, one after another, and your gun throw as you select your horse. Auri, as you approach one of the horses, one of the handlers now offers, "Do you need a leg up, my dear? I can help you with that. No problem at all." And he sits down, he crouches down on with one knee on the ground and one knee up, and he cups his hands up near the stirrup to help you up.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll climb up there as easily as I can.
And the horses are snorting and whinnying and just sort of shuffle stepping with their hooves. You can hear them clip-clopping on the cobblestone road just beyond the outpost area where the hay was scattered on the ground now. You can hear the sound of their hooves clopping on the ground. And as you pull yourself up into the stirrups, onto the saddle, the horse sort of like pulls its head up a little bit, and it moves its head back and just sort of like brushes its snout against your leg, and then straightens up again, looking forward, like always like at attention, just standing there at attention. Every once in a while the legs sort of clip-clop back and forth. And the man with the clipboard now says, "Well, everything seems to be in order. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate. We have gone ahead and taken the liberty of packing in the saddlebags some provisions for the horses. There's some food for them for the road. I was under the impression that you'll be going on a long trip, so you'll have enough for them to as a sort of an emergency provision. But you will want them to graze when you rest them and give them water."
How do I steer this thing?
Make an animal handling check.
Oh
Sure
no,
thing.
I'm asking the guy. How do I handle this thing?
And he looks up to you, craning his neck up to see you sitting tall in the saddle, and he says, "Well, it's very simple. You just, you want him to move forward. You just give him a very gentle nudge with your heels from the stirrups, and if you want him to slow down, you just pull on the reins and tug on him a little bit. If you want him to go faster."
Eli chuckles to himself. Him being gentle.
I look at the horse, say, "Be good to me, I'll be good to you. Just follow the horse in front of you."
And the man now, he walks up and he pulls something out of his sort of a cluster of what appears to be sort of sweet-smelling honey oats, and he now reaches up to you and he says, "Here, why don't you give him some of these?"
I smell them, take a bite of it.
It's very dry. Very dry. It's sort of there's definite hints of honey and flowery hints to it as well. Clearly, this is something like a treat for the horses. And the man sort of looks, "Oh no, you're supposed to give it to the," as you put it in your mouth.
Here, horse.
The horse are just sort of its lips part. You can feel it. It very gingerly is now reaching, and as you reach your hand down to its snout, it cranes its neck around to your hand, and you can feel the tickle in your hand, your gloved hand, as it is taking the remainder of the oats, what you didn't put into your mouth, and sort of mush, and eats it out of your hand.
If there's any left on the hand or little scraps, I'll finish it off.
There's a couple of bits of crumbs, but mostly it's just horse slobber, horse saliva
It's all good.
on your glove. It's a little damp.
It's all good.
And he says, "Oh, it seems that you all getting to know one another, and they seem to be taken to you. If there's nothing else, we do have other customers." And you can see now behind you there's a row of people who are all lining up, waiting to be served by the gentleman.
Who's leading the way?
That's a good question. Who is leading this motley crew?
And hey, Eli, found a piece of paper here with a picture drawn on it. It's got some weird writing underneath of it. Kind of looks.
Oh, was that in your pack?
Yeah, I'm just going through some stuff in my pack since I'm on the horse.
Oh, I put the stabby guy, the guy that tried to kill me, stuff in your bag.
Yeah, I kind of noticed.
Hey, Eli, I bet I could help you a bit. You know, if you shaved that beautiful head of yours, maybe they can't find you as easily.
Yeah, I'm good. I like my hair how it is.
Really?
Oh,
You'd rather die?
Oh,
We
no.
can shave it and then I can put some tattoos on it, just like the ones on my neck. Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
You mean like this?
Yeah.
And I snap my finger and I cast a disguise self? What do you think? Does this just make me look good?
Wait. Describe what you do.
Bald headed with tattoos on my head?
What else?
Old gray long beard. Very dark skin. Does this help? I might need some help riding this horse. I'm an old man.
All right,
You don't
leave.
sound like an old man, but you sure look like one.
So disrespectful.
Gunny, who's best at trekking or directing?
I'm good at following the trails on the waves of the wind and such. This ground stuff. I'm rarely walking.
Well, I guess that would be me. I've done a fair bit of wandering. Are you ready?
Yes, lead the way.
And Lithana mounts her horse and looks back at everyone, waits for them to mount, and then digs her heels into her horse and
So we
I
should
tell my
probably
horse
have
to
a
follow
marching order. I'm gonna take the caboose.
I'll be in front of Ender.
I'll be in front of Ari.
Then we have Gunny. Then we have Lithana. Cool. So it's Lithana, Gunny, Eli, Ari, then Ender.
Okay. So you pass out on your horses now. You hear the sounds of clip clop as you begin to exit through the massive Roan's Gate, past the gigantic statue of Queen Roan, and you begin passing on the outgoing lane of this bridge that stretches out over the canyon, out towards the King's Road, which is clearly marked. It's used so often that no grass grows on the road. It's just a sandy mix of crushed stone and sand and gravel that's just fine, almost just a fine sort of a reddish tint to it.
The Daytona's just taking in the sights and looking ahead, looking out for danger, and constantly mentally checking her navigation.
Can I read this note that's on this picture of Eli while I'm writing?
That's a good question. Are you guys going to go through what you found on this person's body at all?
Oh, I'm rummaging through my back. So
Okay.
I'm looking at this picture and trying to read what this.
Okay. There's a very well done drawing of Eli Stormbringer. There's also, it's a pentagonal piece of paper, and there's also a smaller piece of paper that is completely black, and there's silver foil lettering that's written in some sort of strange language on it. You also notice as you go through the pack, you're pulling out the drawing. You can see some sort of strange, elaborate-looking bag of some sort. You see crossbow bolts, a case. There's, of course, the armor that the person was wearing. The short sword, which had a very elaborate scroll work on the blade itself. And a sending stone.
I threw the sending stone on the ground as we write.
Okay. The moment that you pull out the sending stone, a sound of a person talking begins to emit from it. Almost as if it was some sort of programmed message that was meant to be played. And you hear a nasally voice now, which says, "Greetings, Mr. Stormbringer. We haven't met yet, but I know your family, specifically your uncle, well before he passed. I represent a money-lending operation here in Shan that your uncle was deep into. Your extended family have been less than cooperative in delivering the deed to a warehouse property located in Cliffside, a property that your late uncle lost while gambling. Consider this a messenger to be a warning to you, Mr. Stormbringer. We will have that deed one way or another." And with that, the sound of from the stone cuts out immediately.
Was I the only one that really heard that, or did everyone hear that?
Well, if you're in the middle of the marching order, I assume that you're all not, unless you said that you were, you're all a few feet away from each other in this conga line going down the road. So I would say that everyone heard it relatively easily. Especially Eli, because he was immediately behind you.
What? That property is mine. They liars. I ain't giving that up. This is my property. That's where I live.
But yes, this black paper, which you've never seen black paper before, Gunthroll, and it appears to be some sort of script written, a couple of paragraphs written on this black paper, and sort of like a silvery foil ink which was used on the paper, and it's in this very strange text. And I will share it in the chat so that you guys can see and tell me if any of you understand it. Whoops, that is not what I wanted. Let me erase that. Okay, let's try that again.
Yes, this. I'll read it to the party.
It says, "I will have 2 soft tacos and a medium water."
You're so fucking cheap, dude. A medium water?
Yes.
Jesus.
So yes, that is the script, which is contained within the piece of paper.
Can we Google Translate it?
No, you gotta read it.
Ender can't read his own language. You expect him to read that?
Oh, I thought you were saying that you could read it. Oh. Gunny, can I see the note, please?
Sure, I'll throw the paper at him.
What? Don't throw it.
I don't know how to make this thing stop.
So
I don't know what's going on here. Catch.
Gothel turns around and just sort of, well, the wad of paper. Do you throw the drawing or just the black piece of paper?
Oh, the drawing of his face.
Okay, so not the black piece of paper.
Oh, I can like wad it up in a wad ball and try to hit him.
Okay, make an acrobatics check to attempt to snatch that out of the air, Eli. Okay, you're able to grab the wadded up ball. It almost goes over the edge of the bridge. You just managed to reach out, stretch, and catch the ball in your hand, and it almost dangled and fell, rolled over your fingers, but you managed to grab it.
Thanks, Gunny. Almost lost it. I'll unwad it and look at it.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Comprehend Language.
Sure. How long does that take?
I think it's an action. Let me look here. So,
That's when you know that the DM
One
doesn't want
action.
you reading it.
So it takes an action. It's an
6
instantaneous. An instantaneous. Okay. So, after a little bit, you have a little bit of a headache, and you feel sort of like almost like an acid reflux, like a blach, as you're reading this. It almost feels like dirty to read this. But I will whisper to you, Eli, what it says. It's gonna take me a little while because it's pretty long.
It says here it takes 1 minute to read 1 page of text and it lasts for 1 hour. So if there are, let's say, 61 pages of notes to read, he can only read 60 pages. And this spell doesn't decode secret messages.
Well, I can tell you it's not encoded. It was written in another language, though. There you go, Eli. I think I got all of that in there for you. And I will leave that up to you whether or not you wish to share that with your companions.
This is when Eli doesn't tell us what it says, really. He's all like, yeah, these guys are totally unjust in hunting me.
Oh, I'm only worth 3,000 Galifars. Wow. I thought I'd be worth more. Let me summarize it. They know that I'm a noble, so they can't hunt me openly. Yeah, so apparently they're trying to get the deed to the warehouse, and, you know, I have it with me always. But I own it. It was inherited to me. And Eli's almost was like, tapped this where it was, but then realized maybe I shouldn't tap my pocket to show everybody where it is.
For all you know, one of them is hunting you.
But they said it was only a warning, and that they just wanted to say hi. Basically. Oh, and apparently you are all not very heavily armed individuals. They said that you guys can't protect anybody, but I know you can. You're great people. Thank you so much. Right, Gunny? Yeah, right. Nope, nothing. Hello?
Yeah, y'all are being awful quiet as you are all clip-clopping off into the distance.
Wow. What are you wanting? I'm trying to take a nap.
Gunny's eyes sort of blink open. It seemed like he was sort of drifting back and forth in his saddle.
Oh my god. Kinda hungry. When are we gonna stop and, eat? We've been traveling for a little while.
Litana just looks back and says, "Sorry, I can't really hear you. The wind's in my face, but you said something like maybe one of us is trying to kill you. Well, if I was really trying to kill you, you'd definitely be dead already. So that's a little assurance."
Eli, I think you're being a little dramatic. You see, you have a price on your head, and each time they'll get a little bit and a little bit better. Right now, you said it's 3,000 you're worth? Well, you're probably worth 3,500 now. And don't worry. We'll be able to chop down 3,500 to 10,000 with ease, little ease.
Really? Maybe worth 10,000 a little bit?
I give Gunny a very hard stare.
Eli, I promise you that no amount of money could ever make me hurt you.
What I was trying to say, it was just 300. They 300 Galifars. That's all I'm worth. I'm not worth that much.
Well, I'm not like Ori. There is a price. But, we've only met each other.
There might be a price, but maybe Eli will be able to match it.
Okay, you guys seriously aren't thinking about killing him. Can you let's all calm down. We're all friends.
Oh, I wasn't going to kill him,
I'm going to look over at Gunny, and I'm going to just start laughing.
Oh, yeah.
A farmer is riding by as you say that out loud, Ari, and sort of gives you all sort of a strange look and continues to push on his oxen that are pulling a cart.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, miss. And then he sort of waves his hat in his hand and puts it back on his head as the cart continues to head towards the city.
Sorry, I might have shouted that a bit loud.
Oh no, Ari, really, you are. I'm sure you will get us out of more scrapes than we can.
Well, I'll definitely try.
So how long would you all wish to travel today before you make camp for the night?
Looking at what she knows about the area, are there any towns along the way, or is it just open?
The King's Road, you know that within 6 days you should be to one of the only, to your knowledge, the only settlement which is on the King's Road, which is Zilspar. So it'll take you all about 6 days of travel on your mage-bred horses to reach it. And that's following the road through along the edge of the King's Forest, beyond the borders of Braylon into Zilargo. And it'll take you all about 16 days to reach Trollenport, which is the capital of Zalarka, which is your destination.
Okay. I relay that to the group and say, "What? How far do we want to go?"
I mean, as far as we can.
My question to you is, do you wish to travel at night? Because it will be pitch black.
No.
No, well, I got 2 ever-bright lanterns that I can use.
Now, what I mean to say is your horses cannot see in the dark. They do not have dark vision.
Yeah, bless the guy who said they need to graze. What's grazing?
Oh, yeah, they need to be fed. We can bed down for the night. What does the... Where's the sun in the sky, right?
The sun is still pretty high up in the sky. It's a very hot, blustery summer day. You're still trotting. It hasn't been that long. You're still trotting along the bridge, getting closer to the start of the King's Road, which sort of arcs out and heads southeast along the coast of the Hilt.
Okay, well, we'll just go until nightfall and find a place.
Is there a town coming up?
Anybody?
Who wants to break the bad news to pampered Eli? You're roughing it, buddy. Hope you brought a sleeping bag.
But we won't make it there tonight, so we'll be camping.
Did you say camp outside? You mean sleep on the ground?
Yes, Eli.
What, is your pampered little butt not used to like sleeping on the deck of a ship? Come on, you own a ship?
Oh, on the ship we have beds. Of course. Who wouldn't sleep in a bed?
Your ship? Oh. Oh, you got a luxury ship.
Eli, don't you understand? We are surrounded by beds.
Oh, so there's a motel around here? I looks around. Hello?
I'm going to gesture at the ground.
Eli, you can use my bedroll if you don't have one, and I'm really quite accustomed to sleeping on the ground. It's no problem for me at all.
Sleeping on the ground? You can't be serious, right? You're just pranking me, right?
No?
I mean...
This is when you become the caboose of the group, because we all just waltz past you on our horse. And you're like back there, guys, wait, guys.
So, we've been on a mission together, but we don't really know much about each other. We know about this Eli here. He has a bounty and a broken airship. What about sort of you guys? What's your...
Lithana, I think you might be letting go of the talk button early. Either that or my Discord is messing up.
No, that's probably me. Can you hear? I'll say that again. We know about Eli and his story, but we kind of all just met. Where do you all come from, and what's your story now that we're going on this mission together?
Well, I have no bounty. I have no family. So I guess it's really just you guys. And before that, I learned a lot from... I call her my mother, but she really wasn't. I guess I don't have much of a story to tell yet. I guess it's kind of the starting point now.
And as we're doing this, Lithona is speaking into her ring so everyone can hear. Oh, you don't have any family. What happened to your...
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I don't remember ever having one, so you can't miss something you never had, right? Right?
Lithona sends her a unsmiley face emoji. A crying face emoji.
Oh.
If there is such a thing.
Eli will make it a thing with illusion, minor illusion.
Oh, it looks so sad. No, I'm not sad. I'm not sad, Lithana. I swear, I'm as happy as could be. I'm always happy.
Don't feel bad, little one. I don't have family either. You know, I'll keep an eye on you, look after. You know, make sure nothing happens to you.
You will?
Sure.
What about you, Penny?
What do you want to know?
You fought in the war. What else?
Well, I was, you know, these, the giants, were using us to, slave labor for a long time period, conquered my tribe and making us build their ships for them and then making us serve on them and, attacking people. And, if we didn't attack people, then we were punished, and, didn't get fed much, so that's why I eat a lot. Oh, I'm going to be fed. It's, it was hard to have food at the time. So, if you're strong, you ate, you survived. If you weren't, you didn't live. It was, had to survive. And then, just before the war ended, the captain wanted to, kill a whole bunch of civilian people. That's not part of war. They're not fighters. They're not, bad guys. And he wanted to prove a point that, he was tougher and everything else. So, I kind of broke ways with him when I, took my chains, wrapped it around his neck and snapped it like a little twig, but it took a long time to do it because he's a big guy. He's bigger than me. He's like twice my size, Then I realized that, he was piloting the ship too. And, well, you know what it feels like when a ship falls like 5,000 feet and crashes into the earth? I do. But, oh, is that too much?
Well, you survived that fall.
Yeah, very impressive. Even I have not survived. I have not experienced an airship crashing.
Well, we made a few crash, and then I crashed on one ship. But I think it was my fault. But I don't know if it was my fault. Maybe it was the captain's fault because it wasn't alive. But then again, problem. Well, next. Ooh. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some of those oats. Those are
Eventually you reach the end of the bridge, which leads out to the east and then branches off into the road, the main road, which curves up to the northwest, and then of course your direction would be the southeast, and you can just see off in the distance just the coast of the hilt. To the south, to the north, you can see the edge of the King's Forest, which at different intervals off to the horizon you can see that it comes closer to the road in places, and then it also, there are vast expanses of grassy highlands where the forest barely comes close to it. You just see rolling hills off in the distance, up to the north, approaching the edge of the King's Forest. And you can now see these massive signposts. One of them, which is pointing off toward the southeast, the road, and you can just see the word Zilspar in common. And if looking at the sign, which stretches off to the northwest, you just see First Tower written in common. And then, of course, there is another signpost which is pointing directly to the west, which says Sharn, City of Towers.
What city are we headed to? Surely not Sharn. Lathana, I can't hear you. I hear your beeping, Lathana, but no talking. I can see you trying to talk. I think she's trying to say something, guys. Say it again.
Testing.
There's trouble in the well? Is there trouble in the well, Lathana?
Testing.
Well, she was a good talker there for a while, but...
Where's Timmy? Timmy's where? It's working now, Lathana. I'm sorry. I was having fun.
Okay, so you guys can actually hear me.
Now I can, yes. But
okay.
For the first chunk of that, no. I was only being deceitful there at the last time.
You rolled a high deception roll, Adam. Okay. She's searching her brain for what city?
I do not remember. And I know that there are forces that are above us that would make me suffer for not remembering. I'm just really bad at names, though. I know that we were in Sharn. This is why I like to play orcs.
So, Lathana, you know that Vilspar is a village that's south of Brayland, and it's about 284 miles east of Sharn on the Orient Trade Road, or the King's Road, as some call it.
Okay.
And you also know that beyond Zilspar, it's another 461 miles to Trollimport.
We're headed to Trollimport. I remember that name.
It was only 40 days away.
Yep. It's like 18-ish.
Yeah, it's like 16 days.
16 nights sleeping on the bed around us. I'm going to look back at Eli and smile.
Yeah, Eli gives him a smile back.
As you're trotting down the road, I assume you've all begun proper onto the King's Road or the Orient Trade Route. You're just feeling like the sweet smell of the grasses from the highlands on the breeze, this sort of a southwesterly breeze which is blowing out, and it just occasionally you get whiffs of the smells of the grass, the fresh grass. It's sort of exhilarating that the air is just absolutely gorgeous out here. This wide expanse from what you've been accustomed to lately, seeing just tons of people just flooding through the streets, the many layers of Sharn now. Just seeing this expanse and seeing the forest off in the distance, especially for you, Aura, you feel like you're home, or you're close to home. Lathana, you are also starting to feel a bit closer to home, considering how much time you've spent in the wilds.
I just breathed it in.
Should we make camp soon? It's getting dark.
I've mentioned it's only actually been a couple of hours, so it's approximately 4:30 right now.
It's been a long time.
The sun hasn't gone down too far in the sky. It's still very high up on the horizon. You've already passed through the hottest part of the day. So it's cooled a little bit, a few degrees, but it's still a hot summer day. You're all sort of drenched in sweat. The cool breeze, which is blowing over your bodies now, sort of wicking the sweat off of your exposed areas of your body. But you can feel, like, especially for those of you who are wearing heavier armor, you can feel the trickle of sweat down the back of your neck, down into the small of your back.
Yeah, it's getting dark. The sun's going down. How much longer?
Eli, why are you so urgent? Are you okay?
I mean, I don't really ride horses. I kind of fly. You know what I mean?
Can you fly now?
I know what you mean.
No, I mean on a ship. Airship. We fly an airship. Wake up very early. Go to bed before the sun goes down. I guess only Gunny knows what he's a pirate. So, yeah. Never mind.
Well, if I say "arg" every once in a while, that'll make you feel better.
No, actually worse.
Oh.
Man, this sucks. I was my horse anyway, when you can fly.
Did you at least bring a bedroll with you or something to sleep on?
Yes, I have that covered. I would never sleep on the ground.
Well, you bought like an inflatable bed or something.
You'll see, Gunny.
When in the meantime, I've been catching up on my book of jokes and my really corny pickup line. You guys want to hear?
Sure.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, and she would say, "Hey, Gunny, did you cast Charm Person? Because I think I failed my saving." Oh, by the way, what deity sent you? Because Angel, you won't make me want to convert.
Oh, these are kind of pickup lines, Lithana.
Yeah, these are my corny pickup lines.
Okay.
So, you guys take notes.
Who am I supposed to pick up?
We'll work on that.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, how about this one? I'm feeling low on my spell slots. Why don't we take a short rest together? More than a short rest.
Ooh,
I don't get it.
Like a long rest.
Yeah, like a long rest.
So you'll be nice and rested.
Yes, alright, that's what it means. A good night's sleep.
I always feel better after one of those.
So, how many hours would you like to travel on the road before you make camp?
Till dusk.
Yeah.
Okay. Did any of you want to do anything else, or do you just kind of want to pass the time to make camp?
Yeah, we'll just make camp, I think. What do you guys think?
Yep.
This is merely for flavor, but as I'm riding caboose behind in this train, this marching order, I'm totally wearing my ender hat and meditating, just because I'm a samurai, guys. I gotta look all samurai-ish.
Who would like to make a perception check for me?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I just use my passive.
Sure thing.
Same.
Okay. Several hours pass by as you pass on the road. You don't see very many travelers coming from the direction that you're heading towards right now. You just hear the sounds of birds in the air, the sounds of the wind blowing through the trees off in the distance, and the edge of the forest has begun to encroach on this part of the trade route. And Auri, you hear a strange noise that is sort of like a high-pitched cry. And it sort of sounds like this. Like something is in pain. And it appears to be coming from somewhere to the northeast, into that thicket of the edge of the forest.
Wait, guys, did you hear that?
No.
No.
Something's hurt up in the woods up here.
Anyone with a passive perception of 10 or higher would have heard it.
This whole forest is hurt. We are literally walking along its...
No. I just have a feeling like I need to go check it out.
Do I recognize the sound?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Nature. Hey, no.
It sounds to you, Lithana, like some type of herbivore creature, like an herbivore type creature, not a prey, or like a prey type creature, not a carnivorous creature.
Could I also make a check?
Sure.
Nature check.
Or you can give her advantage on her roll if you like. It sounds to you, Auri, like a deer.
No, it's an animal. Please, I have to go check. I have to see if I can help.
The road is over here.
I suppose I'll jump off my horse and tie it to a tree, and look at it and tell it to stay.
The horse just immediately, the moment you stop and go off of the road towards a tree, which is several yards away from the road, and when you tie it off, it immediately just starts grazing.
All right, now I'm going to walk over and help Ari down.
Okay. So Ender and Auri have now split off from the road, away from the group, and are apparently stopping to tie off their horses.
This is a bad idea.
I agree.
Just give me a minute, please.
She doesn't ask for much.
I tell the horse to stop.
Oh, it stops immediately.
I like it.
And
See, these things aren't that hard.
Sort of just kind of...
Whenever mine snorts, I snort back. Just FYI.
It's just like back and forth. And once again, that sound is now carrying over the wind, the sound echoing through the grasslands from the forest. You hear it again.
Okay, I'm going. I'm gonna move towards it and try and move as quietly as I can.
I'm also following her. 6.
Okay. Auri, you are heading towards the woods ahead of your companions, correct?
Yes.
And I'm at her 6. I'm close by.
Okay, Ender is right behind you. Okay, well in that case, go ahead and make a survival check for me, Auri. What about the rest of the group, as they are running off into the woods?
Lithana will follow.
I mean, what time is it? Don't we have to camp anyways?
It's about 6. It's not dusk yet, but it's starting to. The sun is starting to crest in the horizon, getting closer to the horizon. It's going to be a little while before it goes down completely. So the light has started to change into to amber glow and oranges and yellows.
I'll watch the horses.
Okay, so Gunthrow, you're staying behind with all the horses. Is anyone going with Auri and Ender?
Lithana is.
Okay, Lithana, you're going with. What about you, Eli?
Eli's like, this is bad idea. He kind of gets down off his horse and looks at Gunny. So, you chilling too?
I'm going to feed my horse some of this oat stuff. This is pretty good. They didn't tell me how much to give it, so I'm going to let it eat until...
I'll stay here with you. I'm pretty useless anyway. I don't have anything left, really.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, yeah.
All right, so Lathana, you're watching as you're watching the back of Ender as he is trudging through, following behind Auri. Auri, you begin properly going towards the sound of this cry, which is echoing through the forest, and you're rushing through the thicket, through the thick underbrush and the trees. You come to an opening, an expanse, a bit of an opening within the trees. The orangey glow of the sun, which is now shining down and sort of illuminating the area around you, and you can see just ahead of you, Auri, sort of an outcropping of rocks, not too big, but you can see now what appears to be a deer, a young deer, possibly a female. There's no horns visible, and you can see that it appears to be limping, and there's another deer, a much larger one, which is currently prone, and this one is sort of trying to nudge the one that is prone on the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly approach them and see if, like, they're gonna let me get close.
Okay. Make an animal handling check. Okay. The younger one now sort of perks up, its ears sort of flopping this way and that way and sort of rotating as it turns and looks in your direction. And it looks like it starts to jolt forward a little bit, off to the east a little bit, and then it stops. And you could hear it now just sort of like a quick squeak as it clearly appears to be injured in some way.
Okay, I'm going to try and, like, outstretch my hand towards it so that it can, like, smell me first before I get towards it. And I'm just going to say, shh, it's okay. I'm here to help.
Okay. Do you get closer to it?
Yes.
Okay. As you begin to get closer to it, what are Ender, what are you and Lathana doing?
I'm just watching her back. I'm not really too interested in the wounded deer, but I'm just watching her back.
Are you getting close? Are you staying close within Auri's proximity, like right behind her, or are you letting her creep forward by herself towards the deer?
I guess I'm staying saying 20 feet away.
Okay.
I think that's a safe distance, because I also don't want to startle the deer. So if she does get attacked, I'm not going to be nothing but a turn of movement away.
Okay.
I would do the same. And I'm definitely looking out for any sort of prey.
Okay, Lathana, make a perception check.
Predator, I mean. Okay. Perception.
Can I give her advantage?
I would say since you're assisting, you're staying near Lathana, not too far away from Auri, 20 feet away, you can totally help scan the tree cover. If she wants to take that advantage, she can.
Okay. Also, the forest is my natural explorer feat.
All right.
So I get to double my proficiency as well.
Okay.
So let's see, advantage. Plus 6, so 29.
Lathana, before you notice, looking beyond Auri, this smaller deer just immediately, moments before it suddenly jolts up and starts looking around, scanning the tree cover, you hear sort of like a as a massive dragon-like creature swoops down towards Auri. I need you to make a roll for initiative, please.
Ari, look out!
On second thought, I'm also watching the horses.
And I will share a map. I know you guys aren't here, but I'm going to share a map. I will also say that Gunny and Eli, you heard the sound of this creature crying out. Or screeching, I should say.
Why does my initiative say -1?
Because you have a -1 to your initiative?
Why? That's what I'm asking. Why, Mr. Know Everything DM?
That is weird. Why does it say you have initiative 1? You're only +1 on your initiative.
I should be able to re-roll my 2. And the 2 shouldn't matter.
Oh.
For those of you who didn't hear, Anna, cute little Anna, just asked me as she was scanning the map, so where the beep is this dragon bleeper?
Oh, would you like to see what it looks like?
Yeah. If it's about to eat my face, I'd like to know what it is.
Sure.
Well, it looks like a wide.
Lathana and Ender sees a giant winged draconic-like creature swinging out, flying and swooping down towards Auri.
Now turn into it, Ari. You've seen that creature now.
I'll start some combat music for you guys. There we go. And let's see. Oh, it's the wyvern's turn. Awesome.
Offer the deer up for sacrifice.
So, Auri, you watch.
Save the deer.
Auri, you watch as this massive creature is flying down, claws out towards you. It swoops down, hovering close to where you are, and attempts to snatch and scratch at you with its claws. And you just see these large claws, these huge talons, which are currently reaching out to scratch at you. But you watch as the claws snatch together as you just manage to duck underneath it. And then from underneath it, as its massive wings are flapping, you just watch its massive tail arcs around in sort of an S pattern, and you see this massive stinger which arcs out and attempts to stab you in your chest.
That's the bad part. You don't want to get stabbed by that. Alright.
And you just manage to duck out of the way as the pincer, which appears to be emitting venom, almost stabs you in your neck. And Lathana, it is your turn.
Okay.
You saw this massive winged draconic-like creature which just swooped down over the tree canopy down into there. You can see blood which is dripping from its jaws. And you can see now there's just gore which is dripping off of the front of its body. And you just watch as it attempted to slash at Auri and is now currently stabbing out. It's currently hovering up just next to her and flapping its wings.
Alright. Well, I cast Hunter's Mark on the wyvern.
Okay, you can Hunter's Mark it, drop it onto the wyvern, go right ahead.
Okay,
the
so
hunter has become the prey.
So does it work if I drop it on the wyvern now or on?
I believe you dropped the effect on your target.
Okay. And I'm going to, in quick succession with my Dread Ambusher ability, make my 3 attack.
Okay. So in quick succession, Lithana knocks an arrow and pulls her bow out and lets loose. As the arrow arcs across, you attack nothing because you didn't target it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going.
I think you had it targeted. You had it targeted, and then you untargeted it. There you go. I will say that yes, you would have hit it with that roll. The arrow just catches it in the side of its cheek. Its mouth is sort of gnashing, its needle-like teeth now together, and it grabs the arrow out of the side of his cheek and snaps it in half, dropping it on the ground. Your other arrow now catches it in its chest, what you would consider to be its solar plexus, and is now sticking out. A bit of blood is now starting to dribble from the wound.
I don't think the Hunter's Mark is working.
No. You have to drop it on yourself. And then your Dread Ambusher, I do believe, gives you an extra D8 on your first.
Yes. So, extra D8 plus D6 plus D6.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a D8 and a D6.
So 16.
Okay. 16 more damage onto the creature. And does that complete your turn?
Yes, it does. Actually, no. I'm going to move into this tree.
Okay. The tree is relatively tall. It's approximately 25 feet tall. So you're standing just underneath the shade of the tree from the sun, which is now starting to crest and go down. You just see the shadows. It's not dark out yet, but there still are some slight shadows in the area. It won't really affect you in terms of like something seeing you though.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go around the other side of the trunk and kind of.
Okay. Lithana walks to the edge of the tree.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Gunthral, it is your turn. You just heard the sound of a large, what you assume to be creature, roaring from the forest.
Should we go look, or what are you thinking? I go forward. I told Ori I'll keep an eye after her, so I'll start running up that way. 60.
Okay. It'll take you a couple of rounds to get there. You're really far away. So Gunthral, you're running towards the sound, towards where your friends were. And Eli, what about you? What are you doing? Are you staying with the horses, or are you following?
I'll take off running as well.
Okay.
Don't forget about me.
Following after Eli. Eli follows after Gunthral. You're full speed. And Auri, it is your turn. You have a massive dragon-like creature flapping, screeching in your face.
I am going to attempt to entangling roots it.
Well, it's currently flying, so you would know that wouldn't affect it.
Okay.
Yeah. Entangling roots is ground-based. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to cast bark skin on myself and turn into a brown bear.
Okay.
Does that stack?
It just turns, it just makes my AC go up to 16 and then it applies to the bear.
Alright.
Cool.
And that is my turn.
Just gonna adjust you a little bit down so that I can enlarge your character. I'll throw a brown bear token on you, unless you want to use your white bear token.
That's either one is fine.
Ooh, I got this one. How about this one? Boom. Scary looking bear.
Oh, he's cute. I'm very ferocious.
Very ferocious. So ferocious.
Oh, that's adorable. Where'd you get that?
Oh, it's in my library of tokens, actually.
It's like you're going anime bear.
I would though, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Does that end your turn? You don't do anything else?
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
Alright, then Ender, it is your turn. You just watched as suddenly, after this creature attempted to attack Auri, all of a sudden, Auri poofed into a bear.
Oh, jeez. That's it. I'm gonna move right there.
Okay.
And now, can I reach it?
It is currently 5 feet away from both of you. It is hovering, though. But yes, it's
can I
currently
attack
hovering. It's hovering above you both, about 5 feet up in the air. So yes, you can reach it at the moment.
Alright, that's what I'm gonna do.
It looks like it's getting ready to attempt to stab at your bear friend.
Well, I'm going to growl at it and
Okay.
attack it.
Alright. That is a critical hit. That was a 31. Holy crap.
Only 15 damage, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you rolled a 1 on one of those d8s.
I did, yeah. Wait, do I reroll ones? Is that my thing?
No, I'm sorry.
Are you sure?
Pretty
Alright,
sure.
I'm taking your word for it.
As you slash into the creature. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
That's another critical hit, guys. That has never happened.
Wow.
Back to back.
I think you,
Hack into the creature, into its haunch, slashing into it once again in quick succession as you roar, slashing into the creature's gullet.
Oh, I have Savage Attack, so I get to roll in one additional damage dice one additional time and add it to the extra damage of the critical hit. Is that counting it?
No.
No. So what you would do is you would grab your damage die, right click, and it adds another die before you drop it into the dice tray.
Like that, you mean?
Yes.
You said yes like you were very satisfied with that attack.
It was a nice attack.
You're like, yes. Alright, well,
So
that's
the
my
creature
turn.
the creature now is screeching in pain and flapping like it looks like it's getting ready to try and fly away.
Are you sure? Oh, before Eli starts,
It
I
is
think I
Eli's
should
turn.
only add one of those dice, not two. Because what it did was it doubled my dice, when it should have only given me one additional die.
I'm the DM. I'm ruling that it
Okay, cool.
that way.
I love you.
Eli, it's your turn. So you're now within the forest. Now you're getting closer to the battlefield. If you continue to run your full distance, your full movement, you'll be able to get there on your next turn. I have a feeling Ender and Lathana, an hour, you're going to kill those things before you get there.
alright, I'll do that, yeah, run my full movement.
Okay. Lathana, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to shoot it.
Eli trips over a tree root.
Breaks his leg, fails his death save.
Once again, Lathana knocking an arrow and firing it into the now very wounded creature that is screeching and attempting to flap away from Ender in Auri and bear form. And your arrow flies across and pierces into the side of its sort of almost cobra-like neck, which is flaring out now and undulating.
And I shoot again.
Fire once again, and in quick succession, knocking an arrow and firing it. Catches it now, ripping a small hole through one of its wings as the arrow passes through the membranous section of its wing.
+5.
+5, okay.
I think it makes you drop it on it every time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it did. I thought you were supposed to put it on the monster, not on yourself, but...
I did both, and it only worked when I did it on myself.
That's weird. Maybe it will be different in Unity. We'll see. Gunthro, on your turn, would you like to continue to run towards the thicket?
Yes, please.
Okay, on your next turn, you'll be on the battlefield.
Oh, yo, I'm coming already.
Ender, it is your turn.
All right, well...
This creature is flapping its wings. It's looking like it's getting ready to launch itself up in the air away from both of you.
I'm going to take it down.
I think that was only... that was a
natural one. The universe has to balance itself out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give a second attack in.
That is a hit. As you slash upwards with your longsword into the creature's chest. And there's this explosion of gore as it slashes out. The creature, as it is being slashed at you, is now angrily looks in your direction, Ender, and turns. It looked like it was getting ready to lift itself up into the air and away from you. It now is desperately, it lands on the ground right in front of you. And it looks like it appears to be scared. What you think it might be terrified, but it is attempting to bite out at you. As you watch its massive jaws, you see the blood which is pouring from the wounds that you've inflicted in it, as it suddenly attempts to bite out at you, and its jaws snap and slap shut just inches away from you. It then arcs its body out, and between the wings, over the head, you watch as its massive tail with this elongated stinger arcs out and attempts to stab you in the chest. And you watch as the tail comes streaking towards your face, and the stinger now embeds itself in the ground between your legs, just mere inches from one of your legs. And Auri, it is your turn.
I don't have the bear on my character sheet. That part didn't come up.
I will give you a bear. That was my mistake. I was sitting here trying to run all these different things, and I totally forgot about it. I apologize.
No worries.
Let's see. It was a brown bear, I believe you turned into?
Yeah, it's a brown bear.
Alrighty. I will drop him on your sheet. It should appear momentarily. Boom. There's your stats for your brown bear. You just watch now, Auri, and within your bear form, you can just see this strange draconic-like creature which is attempting to slash out and attack Ender. It missed on both of its attacks, though.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to multi-attack it. Bite first.
Okay. That is a hit as your jaws open wide and you bite into the haunch of this creature. And you just manage to catch it in the side of its throat. And as you do, you sink your teeth into the side of this creature's throat and rip it out. And the creature now, sort of a death rattle, just sort of like a... It coughs and spitting blood up. And it thumps on the ground, quite dead. And you, my friends, are out of combat. And as you do so, in your bear form, heaving, breathing heavily, Ender with his weapon pulled up, angling the blade towards the dead creature now. Lithana watching from the trees, you can just hear the sounds of running feet and the sounds of bodies ripping through the thicket as Gunthral and Eli immediately rush up to the scene and skid to a halt, staring at the sight of this white bear, which is now covered in blood, its fur matted with red, as this large draconic creature now is expiring in front of it. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I'm browsing and looking if there's anything catching my eye, since he's only like purchasing right now. Once he sits down and says, "Oh, I'll be like 4 hours," I'll be like,